There's been life on Earth for about 4 billion years, and around 99% of all species that have ever existed are extinct. Many of them were beautiful, majestic creatures, but a lot of them had been freaking terrifying. So if you get any nightmares after watching this video, remember who to thank: evolution. But do stick with the video till the end to know all the details about these amazing and sometimes terrifying creatures from a bygone era. Now let's begin. Therizinosaurus. Yes, the baddest beast known as T-Rex ever roamed the world, but much of the mythology surrounding it is just that: hype. Don't get us wrong, none of us want to be near a T-Rex, but there were some creatures that made even a T-Rex look mild in comparison. Therizinosaurus Caeloniformis, the late Cretaceous Freddy Krueger, is a prime example of this. It possessed 3-foot-long claws. Its head has yet to be discovered, but experts' best estimations are that it was gigantic. Oh, and T. Caeloniformis is believed to be 33 feet long, or around the length of a school bus. One ray of hope, they were most likely herbivorous, and their claws were employed to rip down plant material to eat. Smilodon. Although it had existed as a distinct species for roughly 2.5 million years, the Smilodon, also known as the saber-toothed tiger, lived in North and South America at the end of the last glacial period around 115,000 to 11,700 years ago. Smilodon populator, the largest subspecies, could weigh 400 kilograms, be 3 meters long, and stand 1.4 meters tall at the shoulder. Despite its name, Smilodon was constructed more like a bear than a tiger, with short muscular limbs that were not intended for speed. Its famous canines, which could reach 30 centimeters in length but were frail, were mostly employed for biting into sensitive neck tissue once it had subdued its prey. It had a 120-degree opening of its jaws, but a feeble bite. Smilodon hunted megafauna, bison, deer, and small mammoths, but it was also a scavenger, implying that it was a sociable creature. Thylacosmilus. These days, the most terrifying marsupials are opossums? That distinction, however, belonged to Thylacosmilus back in the Upper Miocene, around 5 million years ago. These fearsome predators resembled saber-toothed cats, but they belonged to an ancient genus known as Parasodonta, which are closely linked to today's marsupials. Archaeotherium. Modern-day Archaeodactyla, which include deer, sheep, and llamas, aren't particularly frightening. However, some of their ancestors were downright vicious. Take Archaeotherium for example. They are frequently called hell pigs, but they're not technically pigs. They're more closely related to hippos and whales. Archaeotherium was a predatory omnivore the size of a cow, with massive teeth that hunted creatures like prehistoric rhinos. A pretty scary package all around. Mammuthus primigenius. The woolly mammoth, Mammuthus primigenius, occupied much of the northern hemisphere's Arctic tundra regions in the early Holocene period, which began immediately after the last glacial period, 11,700 years ago. These gigantic mammals could grow to be 11 feet tall and weigh 6 tons, making them almost the same size as African elephants. Yet the Asian elephant is their closest relative. It was, however, covered in brown, black, and ginger fur, unlike the elephant. To avoid frostbite, it had a shorter tail. The long tusks of the woolly mammoth were prized by prehistoric people for fighting and foraging. This is a fate that, sadly, their modern-day descendants, elephants, share. Dinornithiformes. Dinornithiformes, more commonly known as the moa, was a massive flightless bird native to New Zealand. They could reach nearly 4 meters in height and weighed around 230 kilograms. Despite their enormous size, the bird's vertebrae indicate that they spent a lot of time with their necks pointing forward. Low-pitched resonant calling sounds were most likely produced by their long necks. Unfortunately, DNA research conducted in 2014 revealed that humans were the primary cause of the beautiful moa's extinction in the 1400s. Archaeological evidence also implies that people ate these birds at any age, which would have made reproduction extremely difficult for them. Thylacine. Thylacine, often known as the Tasmanian tiger, evolved roughly 4 million years ago and was the largest carnivorous marsupial of the modern era. It went extinct in the 1930s as a result of overhunting by farmers who blamed it for the deaths of their sheep and poultry. A lack of habitat due to agriculture, sickness, and the introduction of dogs were further contributors. This amazing species existed in Tasmania, Australia, and New Guinea, and could grow to about 2 meters in length from head to tail. The Tasmanian tiger ruled the food chain, ambushing prey such as kangaroos, wallabies, possums, birds, and small mammals at night. It could open its jaws 120 degrees and distend its stomach to consume vast amounts of food, allowing it to thrive in sparsely populated places. It was a unique marsupial in that both sexes possessed a pouch, which the male utilized to cover his genitals while sprinting through the undergrowth. The last of these, however, perished in captivity in 1937. Liopleurodon. There were beautiful saurians in the oceans during the Great Age of Reptiles, when dinosaurs ruled the land. Liopleurodon, a 23-foot-long marine reptile that swam the Jurassic seas more than 145 million years ago, was one of the largest. While many plesiosaurs had small heads and long necks, Liopleurodon belonged to a subgroup that had enormous heads and short necks, allowing the carnivore to pursue massive prey. It's thought to have been able to kill whatever it gripped between its jaws, as it had 4-inch teeth and was capable of biting with enormous ferocity. Deinotherium. Elephants today have tusks that protrude from their jaws. However, not all of their forefathers had the same arrangement. Deinotherium, a prehistoric pachyderm with twin curled tusks curving down from the jaw, lived around 20 million years ago. It's unclear what its tusks were used for. Deinotherium may have utilized them to attach itself to riverbanks while sleeping. However, paleontologists may yet be able to figure out the real answer. From the pictorial recreating of these monsters, they do appear to be fantastic, whatever the true purpose of their tusks may have been. Andrewsarchus. Andrewsarchus may have been the largest carnivorous mammal that ever existed. The problem is that all that is known about this meat-eating beast is a skull and foot, with no more fossils discovered in nearly a century. Andrewsarchus was around the size of a rhino and took down prey with its gigantic teeth, acting more like an enormous wolf than a cat. More fossils hopefully will add to our understanding of these 45-million-year-old mysteries. Canis lupus hodophilax. The Honshu wolf, Canis lupus hodophilax, was a Japanese wolf that inhabited the islands of Shikoku, Kyushu, and Honshu. It was the smallest wolf species in the Canis lupus family, with a body length of roughly 3 feet and a shoulder height of 12 inches. The kami or wolf is seen as a messenger of the kami spirits in Shinto religion, which is Japan's traditional religion, and also provides protection against crop raiders such as wild boar and deer. On Honshu alone, there are an estimated 20 Shinto wolf shrines. The last of these magnificent wolves died in 1905, primarily as a result of the introduction of rabies into their population, and subsequent human hunting in response to the rabies-induced wrath. Equus quagga. The Equus quagga, also known as the quagga, gives it a stunning half-zebra, half-horse appearance. The quagga were named after the two sounds they made. To the naked eye, it appeared to be a hybrid of the two. However, it was a zebra subspecies that split some 200,000 years ago and went extinct in the 19th century. They were once unique to the South African plains until European settlers arrived and hunted them to extinction. Pinguinus impennis. The great auk or Pinguinus impennis was a flightless bird that looked like a modern-day penguin. It was a strong swimmer, stored fat for warmth, nestled in dense colonies, and mated for life, just like the penguin. However, it possessed a heavy hooked beak. It resided in the North Atlantic Ocean and could grow to about 3 feet in height. And like so many of the other species we've examined thus far, this magnificent creature succumbed to human greed. Europeans began hunting the great auk in the 16th century in order to obtain its priced down feathers for pillows. Later, the bird was hunted for fishing bait in North America, and it was frequently subjected to atrocities such as being skinned and burned alive for feathers and food. Because great auks didn't fly, they were easy to trap. All of these factors contributed to the bird's extinction in 1852. Ursus arctos crowtheri. Ursus arctos crowtheri, sometimes known as the Atlas bear, is a North African bear subspecies that is now extinct. After an English serviceman named Crowther brought it to the public's attention in 1840, zoologists recognized it as a unique species. This bear was larger and more robust than the American black bear. It was Africa's sole native bear. In the late 20th century, the Atlas bear became extinct. Environmental changes and habitat loss are likely to have contributed to a reduction in numbers for the species, as they have for many others on this list. Local tribes overhunting and the arrival of modern firearms, which made it easier to kill bears, both had major roles. Aepyornis maximus. Not all colossal and imposing monsters are from the past. Some of them have only recently passed away. Various species of elephant birds flourished in Madagascar until roughly 1,000 years ago. Some of these flightless birds grew to reach over 10 feet tall and weighed more than 140 pounds, on an island devoid of major carnivores. Their eggs were enormous, dwarfing even the largest non-avian dinosaurs. Elephant birds were herbivores who contributed to the health of the ecology by dispersing seeds through their droppings. Their demise altered the character of the ecosystem in which they lived, just as every other extinct species we've covered has done. That's all for today, folks. We hope you found the video informative and fun to watch. Also, tell us in the comments section your views about the most amazing extinct animals in ancient history we've discussed in this video. And if you enjoyed the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon next to it for regular updates. Goodbye!